We're less than 22 hours away from the CES event that a lot of Nvidia investors are excited about. But more recently, I'm getting a lot more questions about this JP Morgan Healthcare Conference happening on January 13th, and if this is going to be a buying catalyst for the overall stock. Too long to watch? I believe the answer is no. But I believe there's going to be a lot of great information. And on today's episode, I want to cover what happened in last year's healthcare conference and why I believe this could be a nice game changer for long-term investors. So let's take a closer look. But before we go any further, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for a special offer at fool.com/Jose, and check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechip.happened.com.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so let's start off with just some quick events that are going to be happening within the next few weeks for Nvidia investors. The most important one right now is the one that's going to happen 22 hours from now, CES 2025. Now, the main reason this is big is because we can get so many different announcements from this. We don't know what's really going to happen. It can, unfortunately, end in two ways. We get some pretty cool announcements that the market was not expecting, and the stock price can go up. Or we get something that's weaker than what the market is expecting, and we can see a decrease in price. Events like this, in my opinion, for long-term investors are just going to be noise. But I know a lot of us like to kind of trade stocks or kind of just be short-term investors. I think for a short-term investor, this event is more of a coin flip, in my opinion. Now, the other one that I'm also super excited is January 7th on Tuesday. There's going to be a financial analyst Q&A session. So I think we're going to get a lot of cool information, some cool updates, maybe some discussions about Nvidia entering the ASIC market, maybe some discussion on the current trends in the AI space. Another one that's also pretty interesting is on January 13th. This is the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference. And these conferences, I want to say the reason I mentioned in the intro of the episode that this is not a catalyst, in my opinion, for the stock is these conferences are just more discussions of what's happening with the current market. It's not really the announcement of any new solutions. And this conference, if you are an OG semiconductor or Nvidia investor, you would have known that about a year ago, I covered this exact same topic. So if you go to just YouTube real quick and put Nvidia Healthcare Jose, about a year ago, or actually 9 months ago, I did Nvidia stock, everything about the AI market. And that really discusses last year healthcare conference. I'm also going to show some of the cool things we learned about that conference. But in this conference, you're not going to really learn anything new and anything that would change, in my opinion, the future potential of the stock in forms of new products, right? We are going to learn a lot about the healthcare market, and the healthcare market is very, very important for Nvidia. They believe it's actually going to be one of the biggest markets where AI is going to benefit. Now, if you are curious, feel free to look at Nvidia's presentations. They do have a lot of presentations, and we can see that on January 8th of 2024, they have the presentation from last year. So some slides from last year's presentation that I believe can give us more of an understanding of this AI healthcare market. So Nvidia believes that AI opens healthcare to become a technology industry, and healthcare partners and consumers consume roughly $1 billion in Nvidia GPU computing annually, directly or indirectly. Though what they mean is either by buying their own GPUs, healthcare companies, or just renting them out from AI server, from cloud providers, right? So last year, this was a greater than $1 billion market. And they believe that this is going to be a multi-billion dollar market for various things. For example, we can see about 250 billion research and development dollars are reinvented by digital biology and generative AI. We're going to see markets like robotics, medical, imaging, and the list goes on. And also wearables, billions of devices connected to AI supercomputers making predictions in the healthcare market. And we can also see here that there is kind of this huge growth and how AI is becoming this kind of inflection point for drug discovery thanks to the advancements of AI supercomputers. And Nvidia continues to invest in various industries through this market. And if I was to bet right now, if I was a gambling man, I want to say the companies that are most likely to be impacted after these events are going to be some of the public companies that Nvidia has invested in the healthcare market, because they are going to get a shout out from Nvidia one way or another. One popular one that gets a lot of attention right now, and one that I do own, is Recursion, that focuses in data and AI for the healthcare industry. So I wouldn't be surprised if after this healthcare event, we start to see maybe some of these healthcare companies, especially the smaller ones, see a nice increase in price. I mean, just on Friday, we saw an AI company dealing with conversational AI jumped over 140% after they announced some, what I consider not real partnership with Nvidia, yet the stock moved up on the news of Nvidia being included in that press release, right? And I think that can obviously happen, not a guaranteed, but can obviously happen with some of these AI plays in the healthcare market as well. So Recursion is one of those small plays that I have in my portfolio that is highly speculative, but it's one that I believe has high risk, but also high reward. Now, some other topics that were important from last year's presentation is they mentioned how generative AI is now helping the healthcare market become one of the largest in technology industry. Healthcare would be the largest technology industry in the coming years. So right now we're really looking at things like cloud computing, but from this vice president of healthcare, she believes that the healthcare industry will be so huge. So this could be a nice tailwind for the overall stock. They give an example, right? Super excited. One is medical devices and medtech. Every single day, new sensor technologies are being born, or new applications are being able to be built with imaging. And Nvidia provides a full stack solution, just how they have for everything, right? They have software, they have edge computing, they have AI infrastructure, the list goes on and on. So Nvidia, just like any other part that they hit in the AI market, like robotics, they provide the full stack system where Nvidia is pretty much the one-stop shop. And I've talked about it in the past. I believe for the AI market, there are two industries that are gonna be massive movers within the next few years. One is going to be the healthcare industry. The second is going to be the robotics industry. Some other things that we learned from last year's event is kind of explaining more about surgical robots and kind of that robotics industry that I was just talking about. Kimberly mentioned it takes your mind a minute to think about this, but a self-driving car and a surgical robot are actually very, very similar in the job and the tasks that they do and the computing platforms that they need. So obviously, if your autonomous self-driving car is working on certain margins, they obviously need to be super safe. They need to handle things instantaneously, right? If a car is coming in, you need to be able to move almost at rapid pace, very similar to any form of medical robot as well. If you're going through surgery and something happens, you need to learn to adapt very, very quickly. So medical devices, imaging, medtech, surgical robotics are incredibly exciting area for the healthcare industry. And you're going to see this next phase of digital surgery coming up. The other area that Nvidia is super excited about in artificial intelligence is accelerated computing for drug discovery. So there's a lot of different potentials where the healthcare market can grow. I think those were kind of some of the main bullish points that we learned from last conference. And I'm going to say that's probably what we're going to hear a lot from this conference on January 13th. We're going to get more updates of how NVIDIA's products are helping the healthcare market. We're probably going to hear some more companies that NVIDIA might be investing in, or some products coming out from some of the partners that NVIDIA has, and how it's revolutionizing the AI healthcare industry. I don't think my best guess is we're not gonna get any new products, any new announcements, because conferences like this are more just Q&A sessions. So I don't think this event or conference will move NVIDIA stock, but I do believe it has the potential to move healthcare companies that are in the AI space that might get a shout out from NVIDIA. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.